In this video, I'm going to look at the HONSVR prescription lenses. No, this channel has not turned into a prescription lens channel. Skip to the end if you want to see an update on my benchmarking progress, but let's go back to the VR lenses. They come in this nice pouch, but there isn't anything in here, including no manual on how to install these. And I was a bit worried about that. I went to the website trying to figure out how to install these. I mean, it turns out it's so simple. You don't really need any instruction. They just snap right into place. Also, this sample came to me from Pimax. They have a fall deal going on right now. So if you wanted to pick up a Pimax Crystal and get some prescription lenses, you can actually get these for free, which is pretty sweet. And something we don't always get with prescription lenses is like a little sheet showing, well, what your actual prescription is. So that's nice to see. So I've got everything laid out here, and now I'll take out a lens to show you, what it looks like. I will admit I am not up to speed on the current quality of 3D printing. I don't know if these are 3D printed. I would assume they're not, just because of the texture that they have. And it's a two-piece design, so one part is going to attach to the Pimax Crystal in this case, and the lens itself is magnetically attached, which you can just pop off. And just through my own experience, I recommend that you do take these and put them into the case when you're not using the VR headset, especially if you have more than one VR headset. So I'll put down the left and then take the right out. And one of the things I noticed kind of right off the bat was that the lens was slightly ajar in the frame. But what I noticed is that it's actually difficult to get the lens itself off the frame because you got to use like the tips of your fingers, and the magnets are fairly strong. So to give you an idea of the snap, here you go. So it's definitely attached, but there is just a little bit of play with the right side frame. I don't know why. I assume it's just part of the manufacturing. So I picked up the left just to see, well, does it do that? And it doesn't. So I think it's just, within the variance of them manufacturing the frames and the lenses, I guess. The only way I have to test it really to see if it is snug is to just wear it in a sim racing event. I mean, that's all I can do. I did try to hold it up and look at it more closely, but if there's a defect here, it's not obvious to me. My first test was with iRacing and using eye tracking. The Pimax Crystal Super supports this and iRacing's deployment of that technology. I've enabled the blue tracker so you can see this blue square that moves around the screen. This footage was with my glasses, and I wanted to see if it was better tracking or if the experience was different using the HONSVR lenses. Now, this is not a scientific approach here at all. I just could record it, so I just thought, okay, can I see in the VR a difference between my eyeglasses and the HONSVR eye tracking with iRacing? And I couldn't. It felt the same. I didn't notice any difference really to the eye tracking latency or how iRacing was receiving it. And this was kind of best case scenario for the lenses. I was using new eyeglasses, no scratches. Obviously the HONSVR, they're brand new, so they're crystal clear. And the Pimax Crystal Super had no issues tracking my eyes at all. But there is quite a difference in how eyeglasses are designed, shaped, all that stuff. So maybe your mileage is different when it comes to that. And with HONSVR, in this example, prescription lenses didn't prevent me from making a mistake. So here's my first league race using the HONSVR lenses and a Pimax Crystal Super. Okay, should be about straight. Yep. Yeah, sun's gonna be annoying. I know a lot of people turn off HDR. I just, even for frustrating moments like this, I do enjoy it. I don't have trading paints on. I don't normally run that actually. This is all about survival. My fastest lap time is a 750. This car can do 300 kilometers per hour. The double draft is insane. It's all about survival. I suck at the GP part of the circuit. Normally, coal tires with a car that's faster than GT3, this is going to be a challenge. And again, I'm a guy, I just run a virtual mirror. I know, throw the hate at me in the comments below. I don't care. I don't like looking at my mirrors. I don't like that effect, so I don't do that. But like the clarity from these VR lenses are pretty outstanding, I have to say. It's better than, it feels better than what I had with my eyeglasses. But anyway, we go off of leader, who's in front of me, number 20, it's Corey. It's possible to spin up the tires. He got a great jump, that was nice. And the understeer is real. Especially on cold tires. Oh, it looks like our headlights came on. .2 behind Evan. Let's see if there's a slipstream. Got to hit the brake coming up here to crest. I do. Oh, the rear end floating. Sunset to our left. Oh, Evan's out of control. Dead. This car is a Widowmaker. Oh. Wow, barely saved it. This jump is so scary in this car. And so is this crest here. Whew. Okay, survived lap 1. I have to say, like, these lenses, I can't believe I held out so long in using lenses in VR headsets. It really does feel very comfortable. I also feel that this is a strength of the Crystal Super and its screens, is having this more dynamic range of colors, especially when the sun was setting there. We had the oranges and the dark shadows. It's got a better range than the Crystal Light. Oh my God, I need to loosen up. It's so intense. There, going over the crest, I just tapped the brake just to get the nose to squish. All right, here we go. Here's the rhythm section. Wow. Forgot to brake. Oh my God. Guys, this is peak VR for me. Survived. Lap 2. I mean, this is the strength of the Crystal Super. Being able to look and see the castle and how just stark it is, how crisp all the trees look. So, these lenses really just leverage the benefit of these screens. So hopefully you guys can see through this footage, you know, how I use VR. And I think this is really important when people have varying opinions about a VR headset. Oh, hit your braking zone. There we go. I'm not whipping my head around. I'm in talking to you, even though you're not even here in this room, I'm moving my head more than I do when I race. I'm very even Steven with my head movement, slowly tracking the apex. The 4th lap, survived the race for a 2nd place, not bad. So there you go, my first race with these lenses, and I'm impressed. I mean, yeah, I just feel like this headset's impressive, I have to say, and these lenses really make it shine. I can see why they sought a partnership or whatever they're doing together. Yeah, I mean, you want these lenses if you need prescription eyewear. This is a perfect match. There was a bit of a misalignment. It feels like physically inside the bracket that my right lens fits into, but that's just like holding it and like shaking it. Driving it, I did not notice any problem there, so I'm not worried about that at all. Also, one of the things I've noticed when I went to the shop here to look at the Pimax models is that it's showing and describing that the different Pimax optical engines for the Crystal Super actually have different lenses, suggesting that you just can't swap them from one to the next. And that's a bit disappointing because I actually just received in the mail from Pimax the ultra-wide optical engine for the Crystal Super. Right. Custom Pimax Crystal prescription lenses for the Crystal Super Ultra Wide. Exclusively for the ultra wide versions. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's, God, this is a bit disappointing. I was hoping to use the same lenses for my 50 PPD to use with the ultra wide, but maybe that's not going to work. Anyway, when I look at that, I will tell you my experience. Meanwhile, my benchmarking efforts have been a little light because I have made a tool, a website that is going to let us share the benchmarking experience together. Doesn't that sound like fun? The idea behind this is that y'all have different computers and you're trying to understand how your system would relate to the numbers that I report, the benchmarking scenarios that I use. And so I just thought, okay, well, can I come up with a way for you to also follow along and do that benchmark and then take your results that hopefully follow my standard and then upload those to a tool that can then display and then compare to mine. It's taken a few months to get here, but I'm actually kind of stoked at where this exists right now as like a beta tool. So if this is something that interests you, sign up to my Patreon or buy me a coffee and I'll send out an invite via email and you can join in on this preliminary testing.